Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing first aid kits, specifically how you can put together an extremely cheap first aid kit using a lot of stuff that you would find at your local Dollar Tree, Dollar General, maybe even Walmart. The goal here is to put together something effective for you and cheap. Everything that you see here on this table, minus these two, runs roughly about $50, give or take, and that's going to actually be for 2 first aid kits. These first aid kits are going to be going in mine and my wife's vehicles, and so without further ado, let's get this show on the road and I'll show you what I got. Okay, so the first thing you have to understand is when you put together a first aid kit, you're going to have something to put all your stuff in. What I chose to use was plastic ammo cans from Harbor Freight. These things run $4.99 when they're on sale. I believe they're $5.49 or $5.99 when they're not. You can obviously use a coupon every day of the week at Harbor Freight and take 20% off. So these things are, in my opinion, just perfect. Obviously, I've altered mine a little bit. All I did was I took the lid off, I took some Krylon and painted it red. And then I had my wife make up some red decals to go on the side. So there's no misunderstandings what you're looking at when you see this. The reason I decided to go so flashy and bright on it is if you tell somebody go to the back of my truck and get the first aid kit out, well, they're not going to have any problems finding it. These boxes have little locking latches, as you can see. They're hinged and they open up. Plenty of room for a little first aid kit, and that's the box. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get into everything that we're putting in this box. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over is medications. Every first aid kit that I've ever seen has some sort of medication in it, and this one's not going to be any different. The medications that I chose are the ones that I felt would be used the more often. And included in the medications, I'm going to put the creams, lotion type stuff. The thing you have to understand about this is you don't want to overdo it. Most of these have expiration dates, so eventually they're going to have to be changed out. That's why you don't want to buy huge bottles. I mean, unless you just think you're going to use them, these single serving type packets, in my opinion, are the way to go for first aid kits. They take up less room, and you're not going to spend a bunch of money replacing them if you don't use them. So in here, I chose some Tylenol, mainly for fever, not for headaches. That's going to be the Excedrin. Excedrin's like the nectar of the gods when it comes to headaches and myself. That's why I chose it. Anti-diarrheal, for obvious reasons. Triple antibiotic ointment, that's obviously going to be to put on a cut or anything before you put a band-aid on it, help heal. And cortisone cream. You do a lot of stuff outdoors, you never know when you're going to run into something that's going to make you itch, poison ivy, you know, if you have a reaction to something. You don't want to be scratching all day. Hydrocortisone cream, in my opinion, is probably one of the more important things to put in there if you spend a lot of time outside. So for medications, real simple. That's how I am going to keep it. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, if something comes up later on down the road and I decide I need something else, hey, it's not hard to add it. You just pop the lid open and throw it in. Okay, next on the list is going to be cleaning. In my opinion, this is one of the most important things that you can have in your first aid kit. You know, when you're dealing with open wounds, cuts, and whatnot, it's real important to make sure everything is clean. That's going to fight off infection. It's going to fight off any potential bacteria getting in, maybe disease, you name it. So what I put in here for cleanliness products, first of all, is hand sanitizer. If you're not in an area where you can wash your hands, hand sanitizer is going to be your next best option. Just make sure when you use it, you get down into the nooks and crannies of, you know, all the little hills and valleys of your hands and fingers and whatnot, because it won't get in there by itself. These I got at the Dollar Tree for $1. It's 4 rolls of dog waste bags. If you're dealing with blood or you're cleaning up vomit or anything like that, you want to put it in something afterwards to where nobody else can handle it. So these are a real inexpensive, small, compact way to handle your trash. Moist wipes. These are antibacterial. This is going to be kind of sort of like your hand sanitizer in a wipe. You can use this for wiping things off, wiping skin off, or anything like that. You can, you know, do the math and figure out what you would use it for. Now this comes with 20 individual packaged wipes, which is why I chose it, because they're small, compact, and they'll fit in there real nice. Next thing, alcohol prep pads. These are going to be used for cleaning as well as prepping your skin to take an adherent bandage. If it's dirty, you know, band-aids and tapes won't stick very well, so you're going to want something to get the oil and grease off if there is any, so that things will stick. And there are 100 of these in here, and we'll show you how we're going to pack those up for the kit here in a minute. I've never seen this before. These I found at the Dollar Tree. These are pump sprayer hydrogen peroxide bottles. Hydrogen peroxide obviously is used for cleaning cuts, and it gets down in and bubbles and cleans, and it's good for your mouth as well. It's nasty, but you know, if you need to clean out your mouth, if you have an injury inside your mouth, you can definitely gargle and swish this stuff in your mouth and spit it out, or you can just spray it right on a cut or anything else you need to. So for cleaning, that's going to be about it. Okay, so you know, you've cleaned, you've taken medicine, you've done all that stuff. Now what are you going to do when you need to actually close a wound? So the first thing I found was, once again at the Dollar Tree, $1 a box, 10 count. These are going to be 2x2 gauze pads. Obviously these are going to be good for covering up a cut or wiping things off if you need to. Rolled gauze. These are absorbent. Now these are 3 inches wide, and I'm not sure, see how long they are. 3 inches wide by 2.5 yards unstretched. So if you stretch it, you can get 4.5 yards. But this is just a roll of gauze, and you can wrap up a real nasty cut. You can wrap up you know, if you need to make a splint or something like that, you can use the gauze. I'm sure you know what gauze is used for. So there's 4 of these actually, and we'll take them out of the package before we put them in the box, and I'll show you what they look like. Next thing is going to be Band-Aids. I'm not really sure about Curad brand. These are from the Dollar Tree. I got 2 different types. I know there's 4 boxes, but 30 count sterile flexible bandages. These are fabric bandages, and they're all the same size. It's just your standard size Band-Aid. Put one of these in each kit. Then we have waterproof bandages. There's 25 in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to split these up between the 2 kits, as well as these larger bandages, and I'm going to split these up between the 2 kits as well. I would probably say that in my household we use more of the larger bandages than the regular size, so I might end up getting more of these and throwing them in there on top of the regular size bandages. Alright, so next thing, tapes. Now this is paper tape. Honestly, I don't really know if I know what the paper tape would be used for in comparison to any other tape, but at $1 a roll, I figured I'd throw them in there, and you know, you find a use for it eventually. Then we have athletic tape. I think this is the tape that you see people when they wrap up like ankles or hands for boxers and whatnot, but this is also going to work to hold a bandage or gauze pad together or on something if you need it to. And $1 a piece, like I say, you can't go wrong. And the next thing is going to be this stuff. They call it gentle tape. This is what I believe the hospital referred to as oh man, I can't even think of what it's called, Coban. This is what you know, you get a shot or they take blood, this is what they wrap around your arm. It's just your standard brown tannish skin color tape, but this stuff right here is really good. 2 of those, 1 for each kit, and it might actually be worth getting a couple more of those. Something simple, tissues. Now I'm not going to put all these in there, but you know, maybe one per. You can't go wrong. You never know when you're going to need tissues or when they'll come in handy. Ace style wrap, elastic support bandages is what they call these, and at the Dollar Tree they're $1 a wrap. They come with the little metal hooks. Now you can use these for, you know, making slings or wrapping a blown out knee or anything else you need to. But $1 a piece, that's not bad. Let's see, a couple things that I don't think a lot of people think of. Utility knives. Now you never know when you're going to need to cut something. You need to cut tape, you need to, I mean, the possibilities are endless. And let me just say this, I am not a doctor, I am not a nurse, I am not a medical professional. I do not advocate anybody doing surgery on your family or loved ones unless you are a doctor. But you never know what you might need a very sharp blade for, and at $1, put one of these in each one and you're going to be good to go to cut anything you might need. Shaving razors. This is another thing I don't hardly ever see people putting in their first aid kits, and I can understand why, because if you're a guy like me that's got hairy arms and legs, what are you going to do when you need to put a bandage on and it doesn't want to stick to the hair very well? These are $1 and you get 5 of them, a couple in each kit, and you're good to go if you ever need to shave anything in order to do first aid on yourself or on somebody else. A pair of tweezers. Now I only bought one. I need to go get another one so I can have one for each box, but just standard tweezers, you know, picking out thorns, anything like that. Ziploc type bags, and what we're going to use these for is for when we take a lot of these supplies out of the packaging, and we're going to, like all the Band-Aids and whatnot will go in one bag, medicines go in another bag. That'll keep them dry if anything ever gets into those containers, which by the way have rubber O-rings and they are supposed to be water resistant, but you never know. So we're going to protect the stuff that doesn't need to get wet. So that's everything that I bought when I actually walked to the store and bought the products that I got. Now I have some stuff that I've had for a while, and it's either a little first aid kit from the store that's been sitting in my truck, or just some various medical supplies that I've collected over time. And this isn't part of that price that I quoted at the beginning. This is just stuff that I had laying around that you never know, you might need some of it or it might come in handy. So we're going to go through that stuff right now. Okay, so the first set of items that I have is just some stuff that I've collected over the years that have really just sat in a closet in a little go bag, and I've never touched. So what I have is 2 packages here of Triflex sterile latex powdered surgical gloves. These are the good ones. This is what the doctor's going to wear when he does surgery on you in the surgery room. I have 2 Tegaderm, which are a clear see-through style dressing. It's basically for taping over a gauze or a non-stick type gauze pad. I have some moleskin that I never used all of, so we'll throw a piece of that in each one. A couple Steri-Strips, and these are going to be used in place of sutures if the cut's not bad enough or not as bad as needed to actually have stitched up. The trick to these is you have to clean the area very well for it to stick to the skin. So that's where your razors and your antiseptic and your alcohol and all that's going to come in. These could actually come in handy. A whole pile of alcohol pads. You know, we've got a bunch of those. I may not even put those in there. Iodine swabs. These are self-contained. You open them up and pop a little deal, and it'll, you know, for cleaning out cuts and whatnot. I guess if there was a nuclear blast, you could drink the iodine in there. I doubt it. But yeah, this is for cleaning out wounds and whatnot. Some triple antibiotic ointment, but it's not going to go in there because I actually have a whole entire 2 tubes of it. And then you know what those are, and yeah, they're ladies' tampons. These you know, they can come in handy a million different ways. I guess if you got shot, you could jam one in a bullet wound and, you know, seal it up, or, you know, big cut for that matter, anything. Nosebleed, but Those came from the wife's bathroom. And an elastic band, you know, used for tying off your arms or whatnot to take blood, whatever. They could come in handy for a million different things. Alright, next I have this Adventure Medical Kit. Now, I don't know if I want to cannibalize this whole thing, but I've got at least one thing in here that I want to take out and put into those kits. Now, like I told you, I'm not a doctor. Yeah, and I think I'm going to leave everything else in here. This is just a standard, you know, off-the-shelf little medical kit. It's not bad, but, you know, it's limited. You're not a doctor, I'm not a doctor. Maybe you are a doctor. If you are, you're probably not going to be watching this video. You probably have a first aid kit to rival all first aid kits. But don't go sewing up your kids. But what I have here are some suture kits. The reason I'm going to put these in here, I would never, unless it was life or death, use this on my kid or my wife. You know, if you're way out in the middle of nowhere and you just absolutely have to, it's going to be last resort. I'd be more likely to use it on myself than anybody else, but you never know when these might come in handy. I have them, so I'm gonna throw them in there. And these are suture kits. 2 of them are a monofilament, and they're black, and 2 of them are blue and monofilament. I'm not really 100% sure what the difference is. I have to do a little research, but this, like I said, last ditch effort, have to do it. Can't get to a hospital for a long time. Probably never use them, but you never know, they might come in handy. So now that we've gone through everything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it all out of its packaging, and I'm going to see if I can't fit everything into those 2 first aid kits, and I'll show you what I come up with after I'm done. Okay, I got my 2 piles of stuff, and it's quite a bit. I'm actually wondering if it's all going to fit. But there's another thing. I decided that, you know, you can never have too many towels. Paper towel roll won't fit, toilet paper won't fit. So you've probably already seen these, but what they are is little towels inside of a pill. They're a rayon fiber towel that's compressed into this tiny little pill. You hear it, it's just a lightweight little pill. And all you do is get it wet, and it doesn't even need a lot. So I got a little bowl of water here, and I'm just gonna dunk it in there real quick. And you can see it automatically starts expanding. And what you can do is you just pull it out, unfold it, and there you go. You got yourself a moist towel. Now it will rip, but it's fairly strong. It is not sterile or anything like that. So, but you know, this is going to come in handy. You know, if you need to wipe, it doesn't even need to be first aid. You could wipe your butt with these, and you'd be good to go. So I'm going to put a handful of these in there. 100 count of these is about 10 bucks on Amazon. There's a bunch of different brands. But I'm going to include a handful of these, whatever fits, because these right here probably come in handy more than the rest. Okay, now the real test is going to start. Can we fit both of these piles of stuff into these boxes? Let's see what we can do. Okay guys, that's going to go ahead and cover everything for the first aid kit today. Hopefully you've picked something up, learned something that you didn't know before. I know that I watched several videos showing people going to Dollar Trees and whatnot and getting, you know, all the good cheap medical stuff that you need to put one of these together. If you don't have a kit in your house or your car and you have kids or family or even just yourself, it's a good idea to go ahead and put one together. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. It won't break the bank. You know, each one of these, you know, 25 bucks, give or take, you know, not including the extras that I had in there. But you can put together a very nice first aid kit with everything that you could possibly need for 20 bucks or less. I mean, it doesn't take a lot. So hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and once again, thanks for watching.